Hi everyone, Dr. Adrienne with Healthy Living Chiropractic. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. It is sunny, it's amazing. Minnesota weather is so great, and I am so happy to be back. For many of you know, last week I was in Boise, Idaho for the ECO conference through Cellcore. So ECO is Exponential Clinical Outcomes. It's their big kind of flagship conference. It was 3 days. It was all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, talking all about health, nutrition, kind of the latest research. Some of the most amazing speakers I've ever heard before were there, and it was just an amazing opportunity. I really wanted to get on and do a live last week, but I had a lunch and learn at the same time as our normal live, and things just kind of got out of control. So I apologize for those that I missed. I'm sorry I missed a week, but I am back. So one thing I wanted to kind of talk to you about today is mold. There were a few great speakers that focused a lot on that, and we'll discuss some of the findings here shortly. But I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. So I was in Boise. I'd never been to Idaho before. It is beautiful for those who haven't been before. The climate's amazing. It is so gorgeous. And it was on, I'd done a number of runs outside, and also kind of at the hotel as well. And I was walking around on Saturday and I realized, wow, I don't have any nasal congestion at all. Normally, and I've been working with practitioners myself for the past year or so, I've been having some congestion kind of on my left side. I have some cysts, they're called retention cysts, in my sinuses. Been actually trying to clear out parasites out of my sinuses in this area. I've not been as diligent with my nasal rinsing as I should have been, so I've had more congestion recently. So while I was out there, I was like, oh my God, I have no congestion. I would kind of press on this area. Usually it feels a bit congested. It was super clear. So I'm like, oh my God, does my body just love the Idaho air? I don't know. It got me thinking, okay, so I'm out of my normal environment. What is it that's in my environment that could be potentially causing my issues and causing my congestion? I had one of my friends test me while we were at lunch, and came up mold. She then kind of tested my house, as did I, found 2 areas in my house. One area in my basement, which has been suspect to me kind of since we moved in, and that was confirmed that yes, there is mold in the wall. So now is going to start the awesome remediation process of literally cutting out the sheetrock and removing it and doing full remediation. You can't just slap on some mold removing paint and get rid of it. They say that, oh, you can encapsulate the mold. That may put a Band-Aid on it, but it is a very toxic Band-Aid, and the problem will not necessarily get fixed. So we'll have to rip out the sheetrock. Also in our bathroom, there is an area too where we had a little bit of water, which is then now going to causing some mold. So that's to be continued, but nonetheless, what is the big deal about mold, right? Well, why is it so bad? Well, not all of the molds that we encounter have a lot of big negative health effects, but some of them do, especially the black molds. They're called mold mycotoxins. So what molds do is they actually release a toxin to them. So they're called mycotoxins, and those mycotoxins are very actually toxic compounds that are released from the mold that actually can act as what's called a volatile organic compound, or VOCs. If you may have heard of those in some chemicals, high VOCs. Your mold actually helps to release, or does release, these mycotoxins, which are VOCs, which are definitely very detriment to the health. If you are susceptible to them, and some people are more so than others, it can take serious effects on your health, negative effects. And if you have an immune compromised type of situation, they can definitely be very detrimental to you as well. So Dr. Jack Wolfson is a cardiologist, a kind of a holistic cardiologist that was one of the speakers at ECO last week. He did a pretty significant presentation on mold and the cardiovascular system, and he was explaining that mold exposure can lead to cardiovascular disease. It can cause issues with high blood pressure, can cause problems such as heart failure, and electrical conductivity issues, so heartbeat irregularity, as well as dyslipidemia, which is abnormal blood lipids. what actually happens is the mold mycotoxins get into muscle cells, and what they can do is they can interfere with the contraction. So when muscles contract and relax, they kind of slide over one another. What the mycotoxins can do can get in there and interfere with the muscular contraction, which can then cause AFib, which can cause VFib, which can cause other types of heart rhythm issues. So mold exposure, chronic mold exposure especially, can lead to heart problems. It can also other signs of symptoms of mycotoxin poisoning include cognitive difficulties, such as brain fog, poor memory, issues with anxiety or depression, pain, so abdominal pain especially, also sinus issues, sinus pain, congestion, kind of like what I was experiencing and still am, literally. Once I came home, by the way, kind of my story, bringing it full circle, I felt great when I was in Idaho. I got home, congestion. So within a matter of like an hour, if that. Anyway, unexplained weight loss or weight gain. Those are symptoms that can happen as a result of having mycotoxin poisoning with prolonged mold exposure. Numbness and tingling in the extremities, concerns with vertigo, such as that spinning or dizziness, digestive issues such as tolerance to food, or issues with tolerance to food, persistent bloating, digestive concerns, fatigue, changes in mood, kind of like we discussed, anxiety, but also making you really irritable and angry. Excessive thirst, dehydration. We've also seen bedwetting in children with kids that are exposed to mold. And lastly, hormonal imbalances. And we've talked a lot about those kind of with our plastics and our chemicals, but it's like a volatile chemical. So it can affect how the hormones are. So causing rashes or causing hair loss, those kinds of things. So big issues that can happen when your body is exposed to mycotoxins. So what happens to the body during this mold exposure or mold poisoning, it can decrease glutathione production. Your glutathione is a really strong antioxidant, which is really good at detoxifying things. Inflammation, it causes increased gut permeability. So if you've heard of a leaky gut, it causes, there's little cells inside your gut that when these cells are actually bigger than they should be, or there's holes a little bigger than they should be, certain things can get in and out that are not supposed to get out. That can cause a lot of other gut issues, gut dysbiosis, problems with the gut flora when there's mold toxin exposure as well. So what types of things can you do if you think you have mold in your home? You can do some testing. There are some home-based tests that you can purchase through Amazon or Home Depot or any sort of home store or hardware store that you can purchase. Mold OK is one of the brands. My Mold Detective, Health Metric Mold Test, or a few other brands that are recommended or highly well recommended. They're less than $100. That can give you some good information to see like where it is in your home that you're having the issues. You can also do blood tests for mycotoxins. So your medical doctor can order certain mycotoxin blood tests. I was going to give you some names of them today, but they're really long and hard to pronounce, so I didn't. You could look into it as well. And what they can do is personalized testing to see and actually measure the levels of those in your system, which can give an objective finding. The third thing you could do is talk to myself or any other nutritional health practitioner that does muscle testing or quantum nutrition testing and see if you test for mold. That is one of the things we do when we do an organ gland scan with our patients. We go through the full body to see which organs are weaker than others, and oftentimes we'll ask the questions, okay, is this parasites? Is it mold? And sometimes mold has been coming up with a number of my patients, finding out where the mold is in the body, finding out what types of supplements we have that can help to clear those. We've got one through Energetics called MycoCanCord. That's a really good one that we've been taking at our house to kind of help clear the mold from our systems as well too, but get you on a nutritional protocol to help to clear the mold and to help to restore and support the organs and detoxify as well too. So if you are interested and you want to talk more about this, please reach out to me. We are offering a significant discount on our new patients that are wanting to have quantum nutrition testing analysis done. It's only $95 instead of the normal $175. So if you want to take advantage of that offer and see if mold potentially may be causing some of your issues, I would love to talk with you. Please just send us a message down below or reach out to our office to take advantage of that. So I hope everybody has a fantastic Thursday. I missed connecting with you last week. I'm glad I'm here back again. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.